Because you know, as an athlete,
That's
like
right.
if you got love for coach, you going
For life.
I'm giving him 100.
Yeah. What is your opinions on 7-on-7?
It all falls on leadership. People are trying to blame children,
Right.
for behavior, for certain type. I don't like the way the kids are performing or behaving. So what are you doing about it from a leadership standpoint? Yeah, now I got the shorts on, slight drip. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
I'm gonna do it a little bit. Get a 12-pack in the front or nothing like that. Like I'm not
Nice
doing
little
none of that.
logo.
Yeah. I'm not doing none of that. Meal prep has took me on private jets in the room with pro athletes. Let them box me in. Hey, don't let them box you in. No matter where you're at right now, don't let them box you in.
And just like that, baby, we are officially live on the official Waddle podcast, live from Game Speed Mechanics. Hey, man, I'm here with Clyde Tiger, the CEO, the legend. How you feeling, man? Welcome to the show. I appreciate you welcoming us in here today. How you doing, Clyde?
Man, I'm blessed, man. It's a pleasure to be here. It's always an honor to be invited to be on a podcast and kind of get a chance to tell my story and just like what it's like, what we do out here, just how I've been blessed in business and in life. So I'm excited to just chop it up and just rap with you.
Hey, man, we are right in the middle of his pride and joy, Game Speed Mechanics. What is this training facility like? What does it mean to you, and how long has it been open?
Game Speed Mechanic is a labor of love for me. It's kind of part of my backstory of how Fixins got started. A lot of people know me as, the meal prep guy or the Fixins guy. But, before that, I was training and doing, I was kind of in the health and wellness space and coaching and stuff like that. And due to some adversity and stuff I faced along the way, I started cooking kind of like a side hustle. And it took me on a 10-year little side street. So we've been here a year now, just about a year, super blessed. Work with a lot of youth athletes, anywhere from probably 6 to 7 years old to, as old as, collegiate guys we get in here, get guys coming back from college, stuff like that. So we work primarily on change of direction and force production, really work on speed, kind of the name Game Speed. You being a former athlete, it's just like, it's about controlling yourself in space is how you operate most efficiently. So it's just trying to, pass that on to the next generation. I've been blessed with the opportunity to work around some really great trainers, guys that work with high-level guys. Yeah. So super thankful for guys like Tony Villani, Matt Gates, people like that. Some guys out in Davie, Nick Hicks, and Coach Cardone at Perform. I've just had the opportunity to stand on the side of football fields, especially with some really high-level athletes, and watch that process. So I feel like just it's just a blessing, just kind of following the dream and just tossing it up and see where it sticks. You know what I'm saying? That's just really where I'm at.
And I love what you said right there about control. A lot of people can be athletic and have really cool moves. I'm a basketball player, but when I was at my best game, when everything was under control, to change the speed, change the direction. So I'm really glad you hit on that. And how important is it for you, for young athletes, to get a control of their talent?
Well, I think it's just, first and foremost, I think it boils down to coaching at a juvenile level. I think that a lot of coaches, and I'm sure you've experienced it just like I've experienced it over the years, coaches tell kids to be fast, run hard, go as quick as you can. And yes, that is true in some sense, but it doesn't fit all application, right? Because like you said, you're out of control. Or once a dragster can't turn corners like a NASCAR. You know what I'm saying? Very true. So you can be as fast as you want in a straight line, but if you can't slow down and brake efficiently, you're going to crash, right? So it's just getting athletes to understand and harness their speed and their athleticism, and almost getting them to buy in that you have to slow down to speed up. So that's really the focus here at Game Speed. And just, teaching about force production, how to push off the ground, and, how to be efficient. Work with a lot of different athletes, and, any field, court, sport, it's all applicable. So it's really just getting people to understand what I do, because a lot of people think I'm an agility trainer.
Right.
They think I'm running through ladders and jumping around. And, if you want to go do jumping jacks and run in place, that's cool, but that's not really, how does that transition to your game?
Correct.
Right? Do you do that in a game?
Game mechanics.
So... that's kind of it in a nutshell. Yeah. And like I said, without Fixins as a vehicle, I wouldn't be here having this conversation with you in here. Like I said, it's a labor of love. Yeah. I love that. I really had a lot of people that donated, guys donated turf. Nick Hicks, Coach Cardone at Perform and Davie donated me turf. Tony put me on the program. XPE gave me a lot of fundamental. I get to go kind of sit in and do like one-on-one, you know, kind of mentorship, his coaching style and his theory on game speed and stuff like that. I've been around a lot of great strength coaches, different people like donating stuff. Voice Search Local, a local business here, you know, they donate a lot to the kids, help me buy weights and like just a lot of stuff. I've just like, I sit around here and I look like a lot of stuff is just like the guy that owns, shout out to PSL Health Center, Dr. Blackwell.
Shout out.
He donated all the mats inside my weight room.
Wow.
Just different stuff like that, like little stuff like this, like people just put me on, you know what I'm saying? And they show love because it's like at the end of the day, it's all about the kids for me, really. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? We met, you know, we were kind of talking before, like me and you knew each other back
years
in the day
ago
when you was a young
That's
man, right?
That's right. No beard. Yeah.
Super slim and out there hooping, right? And I was probably, you know, I was in my early 30s. I was on the back end of being athletic pretty much then.
Yeah. Loved it.
But, you know, for me, you know, my adolescence, I didn't do the best job I could. You know, I kind of wasted some of my genetic potential.
Gifts?
You know, just kind of chasing the wrong thing. So like as much as we do coaching here, we do mentorship, kind of talk to guys and like, and that's it. Like my guys and the people I work with, like, you know, if you're a knucklehead, like I'm rocking with you, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's really the guys that like need the most love. And you know, if you can show love and build true bonds with your athletes, I think from a relationship standpoint, you're going to get the maximum thing out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I love it. So now can we go from the beginning? Clyde, where are you born? Where are you raised? Where are you from?
Oh man, native Floridian.
Let's go.
Clyde Tiger. My dad is Seminole. So I grew up down in Hollywood on the reservation, awesome. Partly on the reservation, partly in suburbia. For those that don't know, you know, the reservation and the suburbs are two different worlds culturally. Kind of grew up, you know, square peg, round hole, never knew where I really fit in at. You know, I was never really Indian. I didn't look Indian enough to be on the res. And, you know, a lot of my friends made fun of me because, you know, my last name's Tiger and I heard a lot of jokes and I had a lot of Indian jokes and stuff like that. So, you know, I always had this like identity thing to where I fit in at. So, you know, that kind of played a role in like how I moved as I started getting older. On the reservation, big basketball, you know, Native Americans love basketball. But, you know, I started, you know, playing basketball pretty heavy, like when I was about 13, 14 years old. But again, you know, my life choices and how I behaved in high school, like I was in 9th grade, 6'4", like, and I didn't make the junior varsity basketball team.
Wow.
Not because of, you know, ability or size. It was just due to my character and what I was doing. But I held on to that for a lot of years, and I was kind of like F the system, you know,
right?
When that was going on. You know, and it just took me down some rough roads. You know, I thought the rims and the gold chain and the Air Maxes were the Air Max 95s, the original editions, and the Hirachis when they first came around.
Right.
You know? So it's like that's where I was at, you know, mentally, and I thought that was where I was going to be okay at, you know. But inside, it was just me kind of looking to fix the inside malady with outside things. So if I could prop up stuff around me, like, and if I had bread and I had a chain and I had a car, like, the world would think I was okay.
Right.
But really inside, I was kind of mixed up trying to fit in, you know?
Wow. Someone that's never been on a reservation, Tiger, what is something that you go through or that you experience on a reservation growing up that someone might not know about?
I mean, I think it's like any other, like, minority urban culture. Like there's a pecking order of how things go down.
Yep.
You know, no matter who it is, it's like there's always like big bro or big cousin or big uncle, and like, you know, it's like either you stand up or you get pushed down. It's what it is, you know. Kind of, I don't want to, you know, use this term just strictly as an analogy, and that's not like the reality of it. But it's like kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, whatever, however you want to box it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, especially as a male, you have to work into that, you know, space because everyone's jockeying for some type of alpha dynamic to be, you know, the chief. I don't mean that from a Native American way, but you know, the main lion. You know what I mean, or however you want to put it. So, you know, it's just that, you know, walking in that space, and it's different. Again, like Anybody that don't know, like Native Americans are darker complected, kind of more of like a Central American skin tone.
Yep.
I guess the best way to speak. Anybody that's never been on a reservation or seen an Indian somewhere, like a true Native American. So me, like I was always the white boy, you know what I mean? No matter what, no matter that my grandmother lived up the street and I stayed on the res, my cousins are tan, and like I was always the white boy.
Always.
So I mean, I kind of walked with that for a long time, and you know, it helped me make me who I am today.
Yeah.
Right. It made, you know, it really pushed me into some places to where like I can really be anywhere. And that's one of my greatest assets that I have today. I think from my early childhood is like my ability to adapt to environment. Like no matter where you put me at, you put me in a boardroom or a street corner, like I'm going to be straight. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna be good.
Just, and I think that's a big tool in business that a lot of people don't have.
Right.
If you were raised in the suburbs or stuff were different, like you can't really read a room like I can read a room.
That's
and
right.
I didn't know that was a skill.
That's right.
Until I really got in the space and started moving around with a lot of people. Like you can really vibe with people if you just be yourself and you have a good sense of like what's going on, like what's really happening.
That adaptability, that's really big time.
Yeah. So it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like.
And do you ever still go back nowadays?
You know, I don't go back like that. Like in 2002, he was my cousin, but I call my little brother Sonny. Rest in peace. That was my guy, bro. You know, like I get choked up even talking about it. Like that was my dog. You know, like because like not having like a solid kind of male role model in my life. Like I had a stepdad, but he wasn't super involved. My dad was like not really around much, so. Like me and Sonny, because our parents, like his mom and my mom, and they all went through a divorce from their husbands at the same time. So me and my cousin Sonny were always together. He was like a year and a couple months younger than me. But like, you know, like just from sleeping on the floor together, bologna and cheese sandwiches, you know, sharing clothes, you know, all that stuff. Like growing up, like that was my guy, you know, like no matter thick and thin, money, you know, have money, no money, food, no place to go. Like we always had each other's back no matter what, right? And then, you know, he died 3 days before his 23rd birthday, right? And like, you know, that crushed me. You know, he's the best man in my first marriage. I'm a 2-time offender on the marriage train.
That's right.
Didn't do the first one perfectly. That's all my bad. I just keep it real. Like my first marriage, like I wrecked that because again, I was still living in that mindset. You know, I wasn't the man I am today at 22, 23 years old. And that's why I always got love for guys that are coming out, guys like yourself that are trying to like build a brand and like do your thing and the hustle and just, you know, I know a lot of your guys that we play ball with that are out there and guys in the community. Like I rock with that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, that's really, it's about like whatever I got, you know, just turned 46. Like I could save you some trouble if you just want to chop it up and talk, right?
That's right.
And it ain't like I ain't going to be stressing you. Like you can do you know what I'm saying? But I'm just going to tell you like, hey, this was like this for me. It might go good, it might go bad, but I just want to lay it out there for you. You know what I mean? Save yourself some heartache and hardship. So
I think that's one of the most important things in life is having a great mentor, especially a male mentor, because it's kind of a space where we're not supposed to be vulnerable too much, can't be too emotional. So having someone to look up to relate to, and maybe it's not always going to be your dad or someone in your family.
And again, because like, you know, there's a wrench for every nut. You know what I'm saying? So it's like and that's something I had to learn growing up too. Like just because people are family don't mean like that's your like you rock with them like that. You just don't for whatever reason, you know, and you know, situations and stuff that happens in life like is going to change that dynamic of that relationship. So again, like when Sonny passed, like I had already moved up here in 2002, Treasure Coast area. Like I said, born and raised in Broward, didn't leave Broward until I was like 22, 23.
Wow.
But again, I thought Broward was the problem, you know what I mean? Like I had gotten some trouble, again, left to my own devices and choices. Like it put me in a lot of situations that I'm not proud of today. I talk about it with people that, you know, that want to hear it or maybe going through some other situations. I ain't got, you know what I'm saying? So helped make me who I am today. But again, I thought like, oh, if I leave Broward, like I'm going to get away from there. But like I just brought me with me.
Right,
I still got that same mindset.
That was the problem.
You know, pop back in from time to time. I go play. You know, I played some basketball here and there, some tournaments. You know, they have like, you know, because like when we were younger, like once you hit 18, you play grown men tournaments. So whether you're 18 or 35, like you're playing against dudes, you know what I'm saying?
You're in the dark, deep waters.
Yeah, when I was 18, I was getting crushed by some dudes that were like 25, 30, you know, but it was all good, you know, part of the learning process. But like, I still went back over time to play some basketball tournaments. They had 25 and over, 30 and over, 35 and over.
Right.
Hoop a little bit here and there, but like, you know, I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not, and again, that's another thing too, is like, and we were kind of talking about it before we, you know, started recording, is like what I've been really working on. And this is, you know, this is me at 46 years old. Like, I'm still working on not getting boxed in.
Right.
I don't want to get boxed in. People want to box you in. Like, oh, you're this. Oh, you're the Fixins guy. Oh, why are you doing that?
That's all.
Oh, why
you
are you
do.
doing this? Why are you doing? Because this is what I'm like. I'm about like broadening who I am. And like for so long, because I lived a certain lifestyle, like I allowed myself to be boxed in. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So it's like, you know, and that kind of further on in my story, you know, that's where it comes, you know, wrecking a marriage, wrecking a first business, you know, and I found God along that way, you know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing for me, is like, you know, I had to go down to that bottom and figure it out, you know what I mean?
And that's kind of a big promotion of my show, is I kind of preach, you know, we're not in competition with anybody else but yourself. Last week, last month, last year, 5 years ago. And I think too many people are comparing themselves to celebrities or an athlete or somebody rich, and without comparing themselves to themselves. Because if you're doing better than you were last week, last month, last year, you're already winning the game. I want to step back into younger Clyde Tiger, 18 years old, if we can stay on there for a little bit.
Oh, boy.
What did he want to be when he grew up? What did he want to be in life?
Oh, yeah, I don't even want
What
to
did he
say.
think he was going to be?
Oh, man. Oh, man, it was like an intro on a Snoop Dogg record. He said, I want to be an M&F and hustler, you know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
what that was me.
Right.
That's what I wanted. You know, I grew up around guys I had no business hanging around. I would never let my 9-year-old son hang around 18-year-old dudes, but that was me. Like, the guys across the street from me were like 8 to 9 years older than me. I'm 19 years old listening to 2 Live Crew, Too Short, NWA, and this has helped develop in my mindset, right? Like, where my mind's at. And, you know, I'm like, oh, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get money, and this is how we do it. And I just got into all like just street shit.
Right.
You know, for lack of a better word, like I got into street shit. I thought that was it, scamming and, you know, doing whatever I needed to do to make money. You know,
Looking the part.
Yeah, I was never a robber or nothing like that. And I ain't gonna sit up here and like tell some glorified street story like I was a real one, and I, you know, 10 toes down and did a bid and all that. But like, I had my run-ins and I made some bad decisions. I was on the wrong side of the fence more times than I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
But again, that's my choice. Like, I lived that lifestyle, and again, not having like a male in my life that really taught me kind of what you talked about. And this didn't come on, you know, this didn't really change until like my early 30s, right? Even probably when I first started seeing you on the basketball court, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, you know, you were coming out of high school, but like I was just starting to transition into who I am today, because for so long I had a bad mindset. Like, I just did. I never really had like a consistent male in my life that loved me unconditionally until my mentor came into my life, to where I could tell him like, oh, I was doing this, or I was acting this way, or oh, I got in a fight. And you know, like, what are you doing fighting it?
Yeah.
30 years old, dog. Like, for real? Like, you throwing hands at 30? Like, you got a problem.
Big time.
Yeah. So it's like, so he had to help. Like, he helped guide me and walked with me and helped me to find, you know, God, right? So I had to understand like who I was, and to figure out like what a real male looked like.
Right.
Because again, I had all made up pretenses in my head, like,
right.
oh, if I'm not like this, and this, like, oh, I'm not a good dude, or I'm not tough enough, or I'm not man enough. And like, you know, anybody that knows me, and I mean, I'm an emotional guy. Like, just like I choked up talking about my cousin, like I cry about my kids. I'm okay with that today, because that doesn't make me any less of a man. It's just who I am, you know. And it's like, one gentleman told me, like, you know, that's just liquid gratitude. You know what I mean?
love
Because
that.
like it pours out because you're so thankful for what you have. And it's just like, you think about where you came from to like sitting here right now, and this facility, and I got this other business, and I got some other stuff I'm dabbling in. Like, that's all God.
That's right.
You know, because you're talking to a kid
that
came up to St. Lucie County in 2002 on probation, still finishing up paper. you know?
Right. Really did it.
Yeah, I mean, and again, and I don't say that to glorify that in any way. I just made bad
decisions. He can relate to you.
I just made bad decisions.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I made bad choices. It was no one's fault, because for a long time it was, oh, your fault. It was the coach's fault because you didn't pick me up in 9th grade and F school and But you can't come to school faded and, you know, out of your mind and fighting in the hallway and fighting in the street and they don't want you around the athletes because they know you're bad business. This is like, but I would blame them. Like, oh, it's them. They down on me. No, you're just. Because I wouldn't have no athlete like that around my guys. I'd be like, yo, you're not doing the right thing. Like, you know, I'll try to work with you and try to get you to see the right way. But if you're unwilling, like I was unwilling,
you can't help you unless you want to help yourself.
You got to go out there and figure it out.
So how many children do you have? You spoke about being a dad.
Oh man, so I've got 5 biological children and my godson, so 6.
Nice.
It's a blessing. Another huge part of my story. 3 children from my first marriage. Again, like I said, like I wrecked that marriage. I have a great relationship with those kids today. I'm present in their lives. They play sports. I got one that's in college, one that's getting ready to graduate, looking to go to FSU, and my son, he plays junior varsity baseball as an 8th grader, so he's doing his thing. My 2 little ones are 8 and 7. Well, he's getting ready to turn 7, the youngest one, but he just started his first year of tackle football. And my youngest girl, she's like a little starlet. She sings, does plays. You know, she just did a huge play at her school and stuff like that. Big role in that. And my godson, he's been with me now for about 3.5, 4 years. He's he's committed to go play football at Western Kentucky.
Wow, congrats on that.
Yeah, you know, just that's another one, like, just like he got out the mud, you know what I'm saying? He changed his life around, did his thing, only had 2 years of eligibility at high school, and like he balled out. You know what I mean? He did his thing. I always seen it in him, and I believed in him, and like he's ready to, you know, he'll be playing on Saturdays this year, this fall.
That's right.
Y'all tap in, you know. It's there, and like again, here's more proof. Like if you just put in the work, like it will come.
Yeah.
And then you touched on it like real quick. It was like you said, oh, social media, like social media ain't real, bro. I'm trying to tell you, social media is fake. Anything you see, that half of the stuff you see, probably to 75%, is all made up. It's all staged. It ain't real.
Right.
These kids, these dudes, they're just out there making up. I seen firsthand where guys be like, oh, I'm out here training with the pro athletes, boo, 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 whole YouTube video. I was out there at that session. Them kids were not in that session with them dudes at all. They were on the sideline. But the dudes were in the background, so they spun it. Right? So it's like,
sad game.
Well, it just is what it is. Like, people are fake, bro. They look at, they just looking for fame, just clout chasing, just whatever they can do to get someone to see them. And so, like, don't do that.
Don't do
your
that.
Thing.
Don't do
Hustle hard, work. God will provide. I promise you. Stay on your grind. Ignore the doubters. All that. The people you tell your dreams to, they just got small minds, so they ain't gonna believe your dream anyway. So just do you. Stay on. You'll be straight. I'm telling you.
Clyde, I want to ask you something I always ask guests on my show with children. Did life slow down for you, or did it speed up once you had kids?
What you mean, speed up? I used to live a fast life, so it might have slowed down a little bit.
See?
But it just changes. Like your whole, like you guys are young, you know, you're a young man, right? So you don't understand yet. You don't understand, like, is your dad, mom present in your life, right? So you don't understand because and I don't mean this in a condescending way, you're still a child, right?
Yeah,
you're still,
absolutely.
You're still somebody's son, right? So like you don't understand like what your dad sees in you.
What they did,
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why, like,
that's right.
They work hard, they show up, they try to provide you with good life lessons. Like, I'm sure your dad can relate. Like, you know, you were a hooper, you played basketball, you went to college to play ball. So your dad watched you play basketball at a pretty high level, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like me, like, you know, watching Tutu play ball out at Vero, do his thing. He's gonna go, WKU, corner, play football, gets me choked up. My daughter, Kyla, plays flag football, volleyball, soccer, balls out, gets me choked up. Watching my son pitch, make plays at baseball, gets me choked up. Watching my daughter sing on the stage gets me choked up. My daughter Riley is super smart, super creative, can paint, draw, anything. Like, to see what she does and her creativity, like it's just the greatest moment you can ever see.
And it's always the greatest moment as the child, as the athlete, the player, to know that their family is there watching, to know their dad is there. It's
and a lot
empowering.
of, A lot of people don't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
and
right.
that's where it goes back to coaching, right? Are you a part, is this guy or girl just a member of your team, or is this person like a member of your family? Is there love there, right? Because you know, as an athlete, if you got love for coach, you going
for life.
I'm giving him 100.
Yeah.
Like every game, I'm giving him 100, right? I'm gonna give him it all. No matter what, I'm gonna run till my legs fall off, right?
Yeah.
But if you ain't really rocking with him and you feel like the vibe ain't there, you're gonna be like, nah. Yeah, I don't even really trying to get these extra reps. I really ain't trying to like go around them on the Saturday practice.
I know I can get away with it.
Yeah. It ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? Or again, it's so relationship oriented. You know, I think the development of athletes and people in general. You know what I'm saying? Business people, whoever. It all boils down to love and being consistent and showing up for people for what they got going on.
I love it. Speaking of your kids, obviously you've had a struggle in your life. You've gone through some things, and a lot of people would say that's who made you who you are today. How important is you, or what is it like having kids? Should you not let them go through what you went through, and should you give them everything that you never had? You know, at the end of the day, because that's what made you who you are. So I'm always kind of curious about that.
Yeah, I think there's a level of like, you can overdo it. You know, you can, it's again like, for me, it's more of like I don't want to say a reward system, but more like an exchange, right? You're doing the right thing, you're showing up, you're where you're supposed to be, I'm gonna help you be successful as you can be, right? Yeah. You know, some kid, you know, if you have the necessary financial income to that your kids don't have to work, or you can get them a car. I ain't saying go buy them something brand new off the lot, but just get them something nice to, they just need something to get around from school. So, but is the kid, this kid's bad, getting suspended, acting up, No, like, nah, bro. Like, we're not doing that. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's like you have to set the tone. And I think it's like anything else. It's a case by case basis. Like you get what you give off. So like for me, it's been a blessing. Like, knock on wood, like all my kids they're good kids. Yeah. Like for real, like they're good kids. Like maybe it's me talking to them, maybe it's them keeping it real, like me keeping it real with them and having talks with them, and not like. I think a lot of parents, and again, like this all goes back to like my coaching. Like for me, for 46 years old, right? Like people say, oh, I thought you were younger or whatever, but like I work and I train and I'm involved around a lot of youth athletes, right? Yeah. So they keep me young mentally. They put me on music. They put me on like what the vibe is, what's the trend. Yep. Some parents, whether they like it or not, like they're riding along the fashion train one day, they just get off. Yeah. They're riding around the music train, they just get off. Stop. Or the slang or the lingo, and they start almost like
they're outdated.
They're just like they forget. Mm-hmm. Like, right. Why are you saying that? Or, oh, that's dumb. Or, oh, why are you wearing that? Or like, I never rock like that. Because like I experienced some stuff in my childhood to where elders in my family, I was made fun of for what I wear, or the music I listen to, or what I do, or what I'm interested in. So like I made it a point, like a kid's good, like do you, right? And so like for me, that's what's helped me develop my relationships with people, as well as stay young myself mentally. Yeah. They keep me young. My guys keep me young. Like, again, I always say guys, or whatever. Like I work predominantly with a lot of football athletes, stuff like that. I had a couple girls, a couple track girls, a couple softball girls I train and stuff like that. But mostly my football guys, right. A couple basketball players too. I do some work with. If you're ever looking for great basketball training on the Treasure Coast, go check out For the Culture Sports.
Absolutely, Mike.
Hey, Dave and Mike, that's my guy. Y'all always go check them out. Your hoopers, you following this? Yeah, they got a whole league. They're doing their thing. That's my guys. Big fan of what they do. Yeah. Love what they do. So it's just like, again, like staying relevant. Yeah. Like as a parent, as a human, not even like a parent, just staying relevant as a human.
That's right.
Right. So you can connect with you ain't too old, you know what I mean? Like, again, there's some stuff I ain't gonna rock some of the outfits my guys rock with, but I'm gonna rock with them a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Not as tight, maybe.
Yeah. I'll wear some skinny jeans and stuff like that. I'm getting down, I got the shorts on, slight drip, you know what I mean?
Let's go.
I'm gonna do it a little bit, but like, I'm not, you're not gonna catch me in the, the stack jeans and the designer shoes and, I'm not gonna get a 12-pack in the front or nothing like that. Like, I'm not doing none of that.
Gold.
Yeah. I'm not doing none of that.
A fun little question I want to ask: if you're stuck on an island for 1 month, Tiger, and can only listen to 3 artists, who would they be?
3 artists?
Their whole discography, but you're on an island alone.
3 artists, man. When it comes to music, right? I've been listening to hip hop for so long.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big question for me.
That's
Because
right.
you gotta remember, I dropped like who I listen to, like. I was in here the other day talking to a dad, like we're talking about Yo MTV Raps in the basement with Big Tig. Like y'all didn't know what it was like to have to make sure you were on your couch at 4:30 so you could catch Yo MTV Raps, so you could see what was going on. Like YouTube and just like the music industry is crazy right now. And there's a lot of great rappers. I don't know, like, I think for me personally, if I had to listen to like selective stuff, it would probably be like either motivational or spiritual, like biblical type stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's so much music out there. I don't think like, and again, like I listen to music as entertainment, but I wouldn't say like, oh, this is what I want to hear every day, all day on this island, right? So I'm gonna say like, I'm a big fan of like, I'm a big David Goggins fan.
I love Goggins. Who gonna carry the goddamn boats?
Yeah. And like Napoleon Hill's real good. I like Tony Robbins, like stuff like that.
Tony Robbins.
I love my Pastor Mike at Calvary Chapel, Port St. Lucie. If you guys don't got a home church, come check him out. Great service, straight Bible study type stuff. So really like that's for me, like my car rides consist of like no radio. Like I don't even turn on the radio like that.
Not at all.
I listen to music in here and I listen to music with my guys.
Yep.
Right. Like I know, like, I listen to D-Lo and all that new stuff that's out, and
let's go.
I'm Port Salerno guy. Hear what he's doing in the community. That's major.
Amazing.
Major love for him. Big Kodak fan.
Yeah.
My daughter's a big Kodak fan. A lot of people don't know that. Like my daughter is at FAU, the creative one. Like there ain't a Kodak song she don't know. You know what I mean? Which always impresses me. So just like new age stuff, like it comes and goes. Like it's like, where are you talking about? Like, you're going to talk about UGK, before they met Jay-Z. You're going to talk about, the Far Side, Tribe Called Quest. You're going to talk about Wu-Tang Clan.
Yep.
You're going to talk about LL Cool J. Like, again, there's so much like music in between my life.
Yeah.
You're talking 30-something years for me to say, oh, I'm going to pick 3 artists.
3 artists? This is no way.
Like J. Cole, like some old Drake, some old Lil Wayne stuff. Like stuff changes up.
Yep.
So it's like, again, like that's the evolution to stay relevant. Right? Like
Very
stay
true.
relevant. Like it's cool. It's not that the music's bad. It's just different.
Yep.
Like,
Drake
Master
now
P,
doesn't
No
sound
Limit
like
Soldiers.
old
Like people don't even know about that.
Shout out.
Paul Wall,
legends.
the whole Texas move, Ghetto Boys, that whole Texas rap, people don't even know. Like a lot of people and young guys like don't even realize like where the music comes from.
Yeah,
Like
where
it
it
was
really
West
comes
Coast,
from.
Texas, New York, then Miami started doing it in Atlanta. So people don't even know. Like so for me to narrow it down to 3, I couldn't do it. I would say I would just listen to motivational. I would feed my mind.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's where I got my greatest change as a man, is like what I choose to digest mentally.
Yes.
So I don't watch the news. I don't watch mainstream media at all. I watch a lot of my information I get from TikTok or Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't really hop on. I don't watch no major music because I just feel like it's all fake.
You're speaking for a lot of people that have the same feelings.
It's fake. And again, they're like, oh, that's stupid. That's social. Again, that's not me.
Right.
Like the information's valid. Like it's out there. You know what I mean?
But why on the local news every time at 6, everything is, if there's 10 stories, 8 of them are negative. Bad. I never hear the positive, the kid that excelled, the kid that broke the record, this and that, inventions. I never hear nothing but negative.
Well, because the society is designed to make you a worker. Right? Go to college, get a degree.
Put your head down, go to work.
Go to work. We need you to work. We're trying to fill the workforce. So when you hop out of the box and do something like this or whatever, like you're going against the grain. And that's why 90% of your friends or 95% of your friends are going to say, oh, you're crazy. You don't have no health insurance.
Yeah.
Where's your retirement? I can't believe you left your job. Like,
right.
bro, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit in this. Like I used to do construction project management. I didn't want to sit in the job trailer anymore, dog. Like, I'm good on that. So, you know, that's a whole nother, you know, wormhole of stuff there. But yeah, like music wise, I'm listening to straight motivational, spiritual stuff. I'm stuck on that island. I got my YouTube playlist on that.
Let's go. Now, Tiger, man, you are a certified leader, whether it's your company's Fixins, right here at the training facility, anything you do, Florida grown. I want to ask you, how important is the team?
The team? Like you mean like
your employees that work with you, who are around you? Yeah, as a business owner, as a CEO, as a leader, how important is the team?
I would say my rock is my wife, right? She's a real one, you know. She holds it down on every level, supports me, all my crazy ideas. She supports me, good, bad, or indifferent. Never tells me no. Wow. Pretty much, unless it costs too much money, then she tells me no. But if she says I can get it going off my own, then get it going off my own. You know what I mean? She's cool with it. She's gonna rock with me, and like that's one thing too. As you get older, you young guys and girls, like, you know, your circle gets smaller. It just does. You know what I'm saying? Because those people you go to high school with, you don't see them no more. They're working, and the people go to college, you don't really talk to them no more because you ain't got no reason to talk to them. So really, your group gets kind of small. So from a life business standpoint, like Chelsea, you know, that's the one as far as that's concerned. I got a gentleman named Bob and this guy named Mel. They kind of mentor me, older gentlemen. Like they're crucial in my life. I got some guys I rock with, some friends. You know, I spend a lot of time talking to different people, but like as far as my circle of like confidence of people that hold me up, it's small. Yeah. You know, and I attribute that to age. Yep. You know, again, a lot of my younger guys I talk to, they help me grow. You know, I have a lot of conversation with younger businessmen, stuff like that. Got another guy, my guy Jamal May. Shout out Jay May, Mogul May. That's my homeboy. I talk to him like me and Jamal get on the phone. We might be 20 minutes or 3 hours, and you just never can tell. So he's in Atlanta doing his thing, real estate. He's involved in a lot of stuff too. So really, really confident, you know, really good, you know, man in my life, younger guy. Yeah. But super, you know, we got a super solid foundation as far as a relationship. And on that, I just want to ask, because I haven't found love yet. I might have found it once in my life, Tiger, but just didn't stick around long enough. But I want to ask, for the people that have found love, for you, should you go to your wife, to your significant other, your woman, when you're really down bad and you're struggling? And this is bigger than just I'm having a bad day, but real deep mental health struggles. Should that be who you go to, or should you go to your other male friends? Well, I think that's key for men, right? So like the big thing for men is, you know, whether it's a mentorship, somebody you can not put on the show for, because I don't care what anybody says. We all like, putting it on. Dude's posture. That's what we do. Like someone you could be, you know, just let down your guard and just be vulnerable with, right? Someone that's not going to judge you no matter what's going on. And I think that's good. And yes, like if you're in a healthy relationship, which again, that's a whole nother topic. Right. Healthy relationships are few and far between, unfortunately. From both sides. Yeah, very true. You know, I was always told 2 dead batteries can't start a car. So it's just like, if you are going through that, like your girl, if she's not like, for me, so my wife's a Christian. She's spiritually grounded. She works hard. Like, she's thorough. She does, you know, self-development. Like, she's in tune with like what's going on. She keeps it real, right? So it's like, I can trust her opinion, right? Like, she's not going to rub my back and say, oh, this and that. She's going to shoot me straight. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right, right? She's going to keep it real with me. But on the flip side, there are those relationships where the girl's going to side with you and be like, oh, yeah, F him or F them, da-da-da-da. Yep. When my wife may be like, no, you're wrong. You need to go apologize, or that was a bad move on your side. And I go, oh, okay. Right? So that there is like, is critical. So it's really like, what's the relationship dynamic like that from male to female? Then again, like, the mentorship that I have in my life, like I was always taught, like a female's going to rub your back, a male's going to kick you in the ass. You know what I'm saying? It's just real. But a lot of people don't want to have those real talks, right?
Yeah.
So like when I talk to people, like, you know, you came to me, Wido came to me and said, oh, hey, Tiger, I'm going through this, blah, 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 blah. I go, hey, do you want my honest opinion? Like, what are you looking for here? I'm going to preface this conversation because, you know, I've had talks with people that you're close with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm like, hey, do you want my input on this? Because like, it's going to be unfiltered. So I got to make sure we have enough clarity to where you're not going to be offended or you think I'm attacking you because if you're like, oh, nah, yeah, give it to me, but I give it to you, like you feel some type of way, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna
some people
call it what it is.
Some people just want noise. Just listen to my noise. Real people want input.
Well,
I want your input.
They just want to vent.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, most people that are venting like that are looking for someone to co-sign.
Yeah.
They're looking for someone to co-sign their bullshit. Be like, oh, yeah, I was right. I was good. It's good. Right? Nah, bro. Like what? Oh, I didn't pay him because, or I didn't pay her, or I did this because da 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 da. Like, bro, what?
Yeah.
Oh, because they did, like, no.
Let's really evaluate the situation.
Yeah. So let's, you know, there's your story, their story, and the truth, right? So it's like, and again, it's a level of, you know, relationship that we have. Like, are we going to engage? And again, like, I don't get into those conversations with people because, like, I got to be careful who I talk to about life situations, relationships, finance, business, because if you don't know, how am I going to talk to you about it?
Yeah.
If you ain't got a wife, how am I going to, like, you ain't married, right? So, like, if I'm having a wife problem, I ain't going to call Wido and be like, hey, what? Oh, hey, dog, my wife. You'd be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I need to go talk to somebody that's been married for 30, 40 years, right?
Yep,
if I need to go start a meal prep business, I'm going to go talk to somebody who started a meal prep business. I'm going to find out, I want to do more podcasts. I got to go hit a Wido. Hey, what's up? You know, how's the vibe on this? So it's like, who are you getting this information from?
Yeah.
I want to know better about basketball or what it was like or whatever. Like, I'm going to go to somebody that played it at a high level. Yeah, I played basketball, but not at the level you played it.
Right. It makes sense.
And again, that boils down to humility as a man to say, oh, this young man, he's got more basketball knowledge than me. That's okay. And a lot of coaches can't do that, right?
Yeah.
I see it a ton. Like, it's crazy to me with all the information, YouTube, coaching. Like, there's so much information out there in the training and athletic space and the evolution of athletic training that there's guys in the industry that are just doing antiquated stuff.
Yeah.
Like, bro, why are you doing
Wasting
that?
time. Yeah.
Like,
money grab
that's what we did, and this is like, bro, that's old, dog. Like, you get a new phone every time a new phone comes out. Why are you still rocking with that old information? It makes no sense to me.
Makes no sense.
You go out and buy the newest of new stuff, but you still on this old idea premise of like shit you used to do 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, what?
A couple more before I let you get out of here, Tiger. I appreciate you so much.
I hope I ain't running you too long, man.
Hell no.
Okay,
We're going all the time. So as a basketball player, I've kind of seen AAU. I have mixed feelings of AAU. I played AAU, but I definitely know what it has done to some of the games, some of the players, the expectations of it. Public basketball, college basketball is different than AAU. For you, you're involved a lot in football. Shout out to the Florida Outlaws. What is your opinions on 7-on-7? Is it great for the game? Is it taken away from the game a little bit?
I think that just like AAU, any problem that goes out to public, right? The public views as an issue, right? Just like I'll use Fixins as an example here, right? So if Wido gets a bad meal or has a bad experience, who does he calls the owner or the manager? He wants to find out why was this way or this what happened, right? So it all falls on leadership. People are trying to blame children,
right,
for behavior, for certain type. And again, I don't know a lot about AAU basketball, but I see the clips, on social media. I see the clips of 7-on-7. So it's like, what are we doing from a leadership standpoint? They want to shake down the kids in the game, and everybody wants to point fingers. But you got part of that society that's of an older mindset.
True.
The game has changed.
Yeah.
Basketball has changed. Football has changed. Baseball has changed. Like, so again, like, did you just stop evolving? Now you're like, oh, we didn't do this. Okay. Y'all didn't have cable TV with that. The cord used to be attached to the TV when y'all was playing basketball.
That's right.
Yeah. When I first started playing ball, You know, like they didn't have YouTube, like none of that. So it's like you can't compare, 20 years ago to today. So it's like, okay, so if you don't like the way the kids are performing or behaving, so what are you doing about it from a leadership standpoint?
Yeah.
Don't attack the kids. If the coach is being bad, then go to the organization and be like, why are you allowing this type of behavior to go on? So with us, like, and I just speak on behalf of the Outlaws, is less like, there's just certain stuffs like they're non-negotiables, and we have this talk with these kids. Like we go out and have fun, and they jump, and they, and they have a good time, and it's all educational. I think people want it to be more. They try to make it like, oh, you're running a game of football, and that's not football. We understand it's not football.
Right.
It's like pick up basketball. Don't mean people stop playing it.
Yep. True.
Like we understand it's like nothing here. Like we're not going to get a trophy, and it's getting kids to understand like. We're out here, it's developmental. Yes, it's fun. Yes, you can get some exposure. You might have a cool highlight. You might ball out. And it might have some coach be like, hey, let me see how this kid plays in pads.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing with pickup basketball or AAU, or I think AAU is a little bit different because it's more competitive, but maybe it's super saturated now to where like everybody's on an AAU team. So is it really that good?
Right. I think the issue with AAU is you see a lot of kids and you already have to know that you are going to have to dumb it down a little bit because they're taking shots or doing things that they probably wouldn't do on their public school. And I've seen them firsthand. I see the kids that I'm helping train on AAU. They're playing a whole different kind of game, style of game than they do in the high school gym.
Well, and that's the thing. I had the same talk with Dave at Mike. I had to talk with Mike about that. Like, the fundamentals of basketball are not being taught. True. They don't even know where to go with the ball. They're just like, I'm gonna shoot a three.
Right,
like, that's not even your best shot. You took a low percentage shot when you had an easy lay for 2 points and you missed a three. Oh, it was open. Yeah, but it was a terrible shot. You know what I mean? Same thing with football. Like we're teaching them how to run a route correctly, how to, for the kids that want to learn, just like when you coach basketball, like not all of them really want to learn, bro. They just want to go out there and run around. Right. Same thing with 7-on-7. Some kids just want to go out there and run around and get a jersey and a bag and a jumpsuit and be like, I'm on the team.
Yep, got a highlight. That's it.
That's cool. Again, I'm just not going to pursue that relationship with you because I know you're not serious. And like, I was talking to my guy today, the guy Bob, I mentioned it mentors me, and it's like any relationship I go into, whether it's sports, coaching, whatever, I can set my expectations. Yeah. Like my expectations for Wido today, we're going to meet here at a certain time, we're going to shoot this, da da da. If this isn't met in that format, we're straight. That's it. Like I'm good. I don't have to feel some type of way. Ain't no bad blood. It just didn't work out. You didn't meet my expectations. I didn't meet yours. Or I showed up late, or I didn't come, or whatever. But okay, we just ain't doing it. Yeah. Same thing with coaching. Because 7-on-7, you pay, you show up, it is what it is. So like, if you don't want to participate and follow, then just don't come.
Just don't even come. Tiger, I want to ask you if you see, because as a young kid, I didn't really get really good in basketball till like after in life. Even after
you were
college.
Always good when I seen you.
I was okay. I was pretty good.
He was a little hooper out there, man. He was out there slicing and dicing. I remember.
Park. I was taught the right way, played my head down, but I got really, really good.
He was a great basketball player. Don't let him fool you. He's trying to downplay it. I'm not going to hold you.
But I will say, Tiger, I wasn't always the most self-confident in myself. I knew that when you were young.
Yeah.
What do you do when you see a kid, football, basketball, and you see the talent, you see what he could do, but he's just lacking his own self-belief, self-confidence? What can you do to pull that out, if anything?
Well, it's like anything else. For me, like if you came, like if I, 13-year-old Wido, comes in, and I'm like, man, this kid's got ability, he's got good handles, he can jump, but man, he's like kind of sketchy. He's a little nervous. I'm gonna be like, yo, let's train. And I might even like, hey, come train a couple times a week. Pay for 2 and I'm gonna give you 2, or I'm gonna meet you at the court, or hey, we're going out to the field. Like come out to the field, like I got you, don't worry about it. Or hey, I'm doing a little clinic, like don't worry about it. I ain't got my it's cool, just come out, right? Because I see it in you, so I know if I keep nurturing that behavior and you get around other people and you start competing and you start winning reps, then you're like, oh, in your head, you're like, oh, I am different.
That's right.
A lot of people don't like, and again, this is all just due to the grace of God and my meal prep business. Like being able to stand on the side of a football field and watching pro athletes do what they do, whether it's running drills, catching footballs, warming up, training, whatever they're doing. My ability that I have to kind of see guys before they know they're guys is pretty good. And I don't say that in an egotistical way. It's just a God-given thing that God gave me. Like I can see it. I can watch a guy move. Now, There's character stuff that plays into that, commitment.
Yeah.
They might have all the measurables and stuff, but like they don't want to work out or they don't want to do the extra. That's cool.
Yelling at their coach, how they act in adversity.
Yeah.
You know, you
and
see all
again,
that.
like what I've experienced, a lot of high level guys the coaching style is different.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. And
yes.
who can reach them? Because like you played basketball at a high level. You probably had some guys that were high level. And not to show them favoritism, they're just coached different because they receive information differently because everything's a competition.
Yeah.
They want to win everything.
Yep.
So it's like, and I don't know that a lot of coaches, again, from a local level are equipped to deal with, because they haven't seen that level of athlete. So
Very
they
true.
don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, he's this, he's that, he don't listen, he's bad attitude. You know how many guys that I trained that I heard, oh, he's this, he's got a terrible attitude. The kid never gives me no trouble. Never.
Yeah.
Because like,
You set a standard.
well, I just keep it real with him. Like he knows, like I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna show you love. But like this is my expectations. Like, and if you don't, then like once we have a relationship, like I might come at you and be like, yo, what the F you doing, bro? Like we're not doing it like this. You know what I mean? So, but again, you can't go there until you have a relationship. So again, stuff gets antiquated. People don't change. Oh, how we used to. But you look at the greats like your Dabo Swinney's, Nick Saban's, Coach K.
Yeah.
You know, these guys that do it for years and they win.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't get all the best of the best. They
True.
do.
Very true.
Because they win and they start getting some hand picks and they get guys. But their ability, you have to look at, and I think what a lot of people miss, like
The buy-in.
the level of talent that they work with to get them to play together and win,
Yeah.
that's coaching.
The sacrifice.
Again, like that's coaching because you've got a lot of high level personality. They all want to play. Nobody wants to sit on the bench.
Yep.
They all think they're a number one. You know what I mean? They all should be first rep, first team, and they're not. And again, you have to. That is what I admire the most.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they had an interview with Nick Saban one time, like on a pregame thing, and he was talking about like my ability to do this is my ability to evolve with my guys. He was 70-something years old and just retired.
That's right.
He still he was just winning championships.
Yeah.
These guys are 20, 19 to like 23.
Yeah.
You're talking 50-something years.
Right. And there's no way that Nick Saban and all these guys are doing the same thing that they were doing 20
and I'm
years
sure
ago.
some of the guys don't rock with him because for whatever he didn't get reps, or they thought it true. But the guys that really do and are bought into what he does and his coach, I bet you can call him right now and be like, "Hey, can you guys come help me move?" They would all drive to his and help him.
That's right. That's right.
And they know if they called him and said, "Hey, coach, I need some help," they would beat her.
Yeah, even all my best coaches that I've ever had in life, in the middle of it, during the fire, we might have not liked each other because why are you so hard on me? Afterwards, you're looking like, man, I appreciate that.
I got a guy like that.
I know why.
I got a guy like that right now. First time we met, like I tried to snatch it. Not first time, when I first started coaching, I tried to snatch his helmet off his head, and he's getting ready to go to college. He comes in here and works out with me. Like, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You know, shout out Zay. You know what it is.
I love it.
So, but like, that's what it's about, is being consistent. You know, I want to see these guys succeed.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, that's the most important, you know. We do a lot of cool stuff, and and again, like, you know, less about me, more about them, more about you, more about whoever. Like less about me. Like,
That's
again,
amazing.
like, what do you like for what?
Yeah.
Like I wanna watch people win at life, whatever it is. You know, I want to watch people win at life. You know what I mean? So
That's special. That's special, Tiger. Well, I want to ask you, Tiger, we know what you do. You're out here doing it all the time, but who is it that you do it for?
Who I do it for? First and foremost is for, you know, God's glory, to be a testament to like from the bottom, like, bro, I did everything wrong. You know, I feel like my whole life, you know, I'm not formally educated. I got a GED. I got kicked out of 11th grade. Went to jail, did probation, had a business, wrecked a marriage. It wasn't until, you know, I was like 31, 32 years old. I was living in Fort Pierce, and I walked into an empty house that I created.
Right.
My ex-wife was moving. She was pregnant with my son, and, you know, I just asked God not to let me die. And I said, God, don't let me die. I just want to be here for my kids.
Wow.
And like from that moment on, like my life was forever changed. You know, God put some people in my life, a mentor, walked the path, been some bumps and bruises along the way, didn't do everything perfect, left my construction, you know, went through that, wrecked the construction business, started construction working as a project manager again, Left there, became a personal trainer, got super broke as a personal trainer, put a post up on Facebook, started Fixins. Started cooking at my house, buying all the containers from Walmart, blue painters, tape for labels.
Wow.
And we flipped it from there, right? And people showed up, and meal preppers took me on private jets in the room with pro athletes, took me on nonprofit stuff, my life has continued to grow. It brought me around coaching and football and like the nonprofit space and seeing that, and that's where I really fell in love with coaching. Shout out to my guy Albert, who let me, get involved in his non-for-profit. Him and Jamal.
That's a big jaguar right there.
Shout out Albert Wilson, it's my guy. He really let me kind of get my feet in. Him and Jamal May, that's who I referenced earlier. Kind of let me get in the nonprofit space. That's where I kind of started falling in love with coaching. Coached around here in St. Lucie County, but again, due to my past, I was told I couldn't coach anymore.
Wow.
Something I did 20-something years ago. And along that way, like I always wanted to, have more kids. Again, I have 5 kids, and we kind of looked into the adoption space. I was told you couldn't do it because of my past, but like God sent me another son,
Wow.
So like,
what a story. Amazing, man. And if you were to go back to 2014, 10 years ago, and tell that Clyde Tiger where you're at, what you're doing right now, and what all you have, would he have believed it?
No way, man. Nah, man. It's like even today, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, where I'm at today, like, I got this training facility, I got Fixins. I just launched a little clothing brand on Etsy. I've been working out on my free time. That's my little side hustle.
Let's go.
I do some sales for Flow Grown. Y'all, check out Flow Grown.
Big shout out to Flow Grown.
Y'all Florida people out there, we're doing some things. We got a grassroots campaign, get at me. I do all sales south of Orlando, all the way down to the Keys. If you're ever interested in some Flow Grown merch at your store,
let's go.
Whatever. I'm from a retail level. Like I said, I started my own little clothing brand. So just really like, I ain't gonna let them box me in.
Can't box me in.
Hey, don't let them box you in. No matter where you're at right now, don't let them box you in, because they will try to box you in. If you're a truck driver, they think you're gonna be a truck driver forever. Hurricane window, hurricane shutter installer. They think you're gonna be a hurricane window installer forever. So like, don't let them box you in. Don't let them box you in. Trust God. Find good people around you. Find a God of your understanding, whatever that may be. Just some kind of higher power, because you ain't out here running the show, and like
something bigger than you.
Yeah, something bigger than you, and just get out there and do what's on your heart. Like your greatest, if I could say anything to anybody out there watching, like my greatest assets today are things that cannot be bought with money. Like showing up, being consistent, be there for your kids, be there for your homeboys, be there for whoever's winning. Like, go cheer them on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like you said, it's something that has people in the stands rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? Support your people's event. Give them a follow on YouTube. Click the link. Double tap to Instagram. Like, bro, it's that simple. Show love.
Show love. It's free.
Show love. It's free, but it's like, that's my greatest asset. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I watched my son make 2 amazing plays last night at baseball. I could have worked. I could have made myself, I'm busy. It's just a baseball game. But he made 2 plays. They lost, but he was out there balling.
Yeah, and you saw it.
And you can't buy that with money. That's a blink of an eye. I can't get this time back sitting with you. Right. So like, if you're out there, do what's in here. Don't listen to what they're saying, because they don't know. They're just scared. So they're just going to stay in that space forever.
Yeah.
Do you. Follow what's on your heart and win.
I love it. What can we look forward to you 2024?
Man, 2024 is just wherever God has me. I can't tell it. I can't call it. Because if I told you, it'd be a lie.
I love that.
Like, I'm always trying to grow my brands. I got a couple of them I'm down. I got, like I said, Fixins, Flow Grown I'm a part of. Shout out to my guy Jesse for even letting me get involved with that. He started it 14 years ago. He got it out the mud too, literally Mud Fest.
Yeah.
Redneck Yacht Club, all stuff like that. So he got it out of the mud
for
real.
Out the mud.
He's doing retail stuff, doing big things. Doing stuff with Bass Pro Shops. Like, he's that guy. So shout out to him. Let me get on board with that. If you guys, I got a little brand. It's called Corner King Clothing. It's on Etsy. Y'all go check it out. I drop some, I make all the designs myself. And then Fixins, of course. And then if you got some people that want to get some work, some training, Game Speed Mechanics, come get with us. We're on Instagram. Everything's on Instagram. Game Speed, Fixins, Flow Grown. I ain't got no Instagram for the Etsy just yet. I just started it out this weekend, but it's been on my heart, and I've been making designs kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I just put it all out. So, that's just who I am, man. I'm a creative, always have been, big picture guy. So, like, again, don't get boxed in.
Can't box them in. That's one thing.
Don't box me in.
This was legendary. Thank you so much, man.
Word up.
Everybody, I appreciate you. This is Clyde Tiger, owner of Fixins, partnered with so much on the Treasure Coast. He is the icon himself. I appreciate
y'all
you.
boys
man.
go follow. Boys and girls, go follow. Click the subscribe link. Give him my guy. Why
We
go?
here, man. Stay
The
in tune.
original Singleton County Hooper. You know what it is.
You know what it is, baby. Appreciate y'all so much. Have a
That's
blessed
rockin'
day.
with it, girl. Play with me.